Hi guys. I thought it might be fun to start this video with like staring straight up into the sky. Anyways, it's been a long time since I made a video. Oh my goodness. What are we in? We are, well, tomorrow's April 1st, 2025. And the last video, I mean, I didn't actually check to see when the last one I made was, but I'm pretty sure I was at the campground last summer. So probably like maybe August of 2024. So yeah, not quite a year, but I don't know. I guess I just wasn't feeling drawn to it. I don't think. I'd just been doing other things, and yeah, I mean, that's life, right? We go through our roller coaster of life, and interests come and go. So I'll catch you up real quick. Definitely, I know I made a video and posted it back when I was campground host in Port Renfrew, Vancouver Island. And now I'm way up in Sayward, which is north of Campbell River. I'm still on Vancouver Island, but much further north, probably about 4 hours from there. And what brought me here was after the campground hosting, it was a seasonal job and it was amazing. And I learned a lot from it, and I'll never do it again. I mean, it was great. It was amazing. Like so much positive came from doing that. Like the people I met, just learning how to adjust. Like every single, I met thousands, and every single person is different. Right? Some are happy, some are not happy, some are partying, some just want peace. Oh my God, the list goes on and on, right? It's just, so trying to adapt to all of that, like in the moment, like just you got to move quick, you got to think quick, you got to adjust quick. So it was challenging, but I look at it as I'm thankful for it. I mean, it was great. It really didn't pay very well. Um, I think that all campground hosts do approach it differently. Some really take that time off that they are entitled to. I didn't do that very much because, to be honest, I really just wanted to keep. I'm not a controlling person. I mean, you wouldn't believe what I did there for people. My canoe, I'm looking at it. It's over there. My canoe was out every day. When people came in, and hey, you got anything to get out in the lake? Oh, you got nothing to get out in the lake, eh? And they're lovely people. I'd be like, hey, there's a green canoe down at the lake. Here's the paddles. You guys have fun. And I used to move people around from site to site. I don't know, I was always like, bending the rules, right? But at the same time, I liked to keep everything in order. And no, so I didn't take a lot of time off, like and so I mean, I kind of did the math. I'm sure I was working 70, 80 hours a week, like really. It was never like a hard, go go go, but it was just a slow constant, right? And I did it solo, and I think that's a difference too. People always ask me if I would do it again, and I'd be like, if I had a partner, or even not so much a partner, but just even somebody that you shared the responsibilities with, you could literally go and check out. That's the thing. Even when I would be like, I'd go down to the beach in the morning and watch the sunrise and listen to the birds and sit on the beach and sip on my coffee, I was still, that sounds amazing, right? And it was, but I would still be like listening to, so and so over there, or, oh, it's too early, they're making too much noise, or, I don't know. I never really had an off switch. And then, still occasionally, I lock the gate at 10 o'clock at night, and it'd be like, midnight, and someone's all of a sudden got their music going and shit. Like, most, 95% of everybody was amazing and quiet and just wanted to be out camping and enjoy nature and stuff, because it's a beautiful old growth area. So it wasn't necessarily a party spot. I had friends that were hosting at other campgrounds, and oh my God, they just, the stories I heard and the things it was, oh my goodness. So those poor people. And but again, I just I mean, unless you there's a love of doing it. And again, if I could share the responsibilities and knew that I could just check out for 5 6 hours. We did have a relief person that would come once a week, but once a week is I don't know. It's and that was only in the peak season, like July and August, whatever. So that May and June, you're just anyways, I'm not going to go on about that, but so yeah, and then when that was coming to an end, I mean, it's interesting to me how we have ideas. This is the message for you: is to don't sometimes things ideas come to us, but they're not meant for that time, right? And I'm starting to realize that sometimes you think about doing things in life, or you just ideas come to you and then we forget about them, right? And they just kind of disappear, and not necessarily disappear, but they're so far in the background, because and you don't think about them anymore because new things come up, and you move on, right? And you're doing other things and stuff. But recently I've had so I mean, probably even a couple years ago, I'd had when I first started traveling, back in 2022, I'd meet people along the way that would say, "Oh, you should try house pet sitting," right? And I looked into it a few times, but the timing just wasn't right. And so, ironically, here, this is a part of the story, is that, I revisited it finally at the right time. And again, I had kind of forgotten about it, and I don't know if someone mentioned it to me or what it was, but I was getting close to the end of the season at the campground, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just wasn't really sure what I was going to do, what I wanted to do. I was open to whatever, right? And so I did. I took the approach of house pet sitting, and it really it worked out. It's been an incredible experience. I did 3 weeks in Victoria when I first left the campground, and on the island, and that was pretty cool. I had just one dog, to start, and but she had high anxiety, so it was a bit of a challenge, right off the bat. And but that was 3 weeks, and then right from there, I had, even before I left the campground, had lined up that one, but also right after that, I had lined up 2 months to come up to Sayward, which is an incredible. And I'm still here, and that because that 2 months, I came up, I watched a dog and a couple of cats, and I fell in love with the area. So that was October when I came to Sayward, and then while I was here house pet sitting, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, look at it's all kind of cloudy right now. If that was clear, you guys, your socks would be just knocked off. That's called the Kusum, Mount Kusum, or the mountain called Kusum. And they have a famous race, Kusum Climb, every year, and people come from all over. There's a waiting list to get in. They only let so many people in. But again, you can't see it. The clouds are there, but it's like it's up there, like way, way, like it's. And the climb, the race that they do, I think I'm signed up for it. I'm gonna do it. It's in June. And like I said, this is the very beginning of April. Um, so it's 20 something kilometers, and it can take people like 10, 10, 12 hours. It's a heck of a climb. It's up there. So I've been doing a lot. And so I got into so I got it. I did a because I've decided to settle here. So what happened when I was house pet sitting, I like I said, I just love it's gorgeous. Like, look at it around here. It's beautiful. This community where I am is only like a population of like 700, and that's including the village, but also the valley, all the people in the valley. And so it's not a lot. It's a small community. But what I liked about it is, because I like small communities, and I like that it also had a community center with a big pool, and I got into playing pickleball, and it just has everything. There's any emergency services you need here. There's fire and ambulance and police, and there's the post office, and library. I love going to the library. I've checked out books, and I can go there. I don't have a printer, so I can print stuff off. Use the Wi-Fi if I need it. There's a computer, whatever. It's great. And so where I was house pet sitting when I came up here for 2 months was it's a big property here in the right in the nature and outside of the village, and there's like 4 or 5, 6 cabins actually, I think. And I was at one of them, but I got talking to the owner, and it turned out he had a little 1 bedroom cabin available, and he said it's because I said I think I might stick around. I really like it here, and so I stuck around, and I got the cabin, and then I knew I had to get a job. I knew I had to get work. My literally my bank account was empty. I had a few issues with my pickup truck, which just took that little bit of money I made through the summer from the campground. So it was like, okay, I got to go back after 2.5 years or 2 years of solid travel, and I was like, okay, I got to go back to a regular human being and get to work, right? So yeah, so it was suggested to me. A company here on the island that is truck driving, so I just and I started knocking on doors, and sure enough, I probably knocked on 50 doors around Campbell River, and yeah, I got a job. So I started working, and delivering food and stuff like that, and yeah, so it's just, I think the reason why I decided to do a video today was just because this is literally my last day here. So because it's April, like the birds are chirping in the morning, the flowers are, I'm going to show you some flowers in a minute. They're popping up everywhere, so spring is coming, so I can get back into that. I can get back into my camper. And because I work for a trucking company, I'm fortunate enough to be able to. I asked them if I could stay right at the yard, right at the trucking yard. And so, I mean, for me, that's a whole nother subject and another topic. But it's interesting how, you know, like some people, kind of frown upon this, and they say, "Oh my goodness, like you're living in a camper," and it's like, I mean, well, I was thinking about this the other day. I remember reading this once. There's a difference between choosing to live in a camper and, uh, not really having a choice, and it's because you've maybe fallen on hard times or whatever, right? And there is a difference because, I think when you choose to, it's much more enjoyable than whether you feel maybe forced to or you don't have a choice or an option, right? I mean, I could easily stay in my cabin if I want, but I mean, think about it. Save $1,000 in rent, save $150 in Starlink, save $100 in electrical, and I'm driving 2 hours every day, 45 minutes each way, almost 2 hours total a day, back and forth to work. And I got a little wee dinky car I bought. I'm going to show you that too. I didn't have this before. It's not really new, but I got it back in like maybe November or something like that. And, but I knew that I wasn't gonna look what I did, guys. I got my scooter on the front of my truck. I put a hitch on the front, and I mounted it to the front of my truck. Look at it. Isn't that wild? I don't know. I just put it on there today. I've never moved it like that before. It's always been on the back. So I'm going to see how it goes. But anyways, here's my car. My little zippy Hyundai. Which way am I going here? I'm in the way, or how do I... There. I love the color. People always say to me, we know it was you because look at the color. Like it's like orange. Anyways, I got that little car, and even though it's just a tiny little gas sipper, it's still, I'm gonna save $300 or 400 maybe even a month. So I'm up at saving like $1,600, $1,700 a month by just going back and living in my camper. To me, because the life that I truly desire is working for 6 or 7 months of the year and traveling for the rest, or even not necessarily traveling, but just not working, like doing whatever it is that I want to do. Um, Whether I stay here, I'll probably fly south with the birds or something. Like I really don't like it wasn't cold here during the winter on Vancouver Island. Like it's not like the rest of Canada. It's warmer. I mean, it was rare that it was -5 or something like that. That was like the odd, it was, and I think we got snow once or twice. Like, and that was it. Like it wasn't a lot, but it's ironic because you go up into the mountains. Like I was hiking last weekend near Mount Washington, which is, um, a friend of mine and I went up a mountain there, and we got to the top, and I mean I don't know for sure, but there was at least 10 feet of snow. I'm sure it was like crazy, crazy deep, and like there's like 3 feet of snow just on the trees and the bushes. It was on the branches. It was amazing. Like it was gorgeous, like just stunning, and a whole nother world, And it's so peaceful. Like the silence is profound. Like you just stop and you don't say anything and you just listen, and it's just like dead silence. It's beautiful. It's just so beautiful. It's so good for us. It's no wonder people just go up and hike up a mountain and sit and take it in, because you literally do feel like you've gotten away from all the hustle and the bustle and then everything like that, right? I am going to show you my cabin because I'm excited that to show it to you. Is it came to me just in the right time. It was a blessing. I needed somewhere to stay warm, and I had a little wood stove, so it was nice. I've never actually had a place with a wood stove, so it was nice to I got some firewood before the winter. And anyways, I think I just, like I said, I just wanted to kind of and I think I recently just listened to a video of mine, and it was quite a while back when I had made it, but I just stumbled across it. For I don't normally go back and watch my own stuff, but it was cool to listen to. It was on enlightenment, and it was just obviously my own definition of trying to get to enlightenment. If I ever will, I have no idea, but um, talking about the internal and the external. And what was interesting is that one of the things that stuck with me that I heard in my own video was that sometimes because I used to always ramble on about just remove people from your life, and just like anything toxic, make a change, change your job, just do this, do that, like it's easy peasy. But it's not always easy peasy, depending on your situation and who you're responsible for, and blah blah blah. But what was cool in the video that I started to talk about is that if you can't, you should try and do some internal work, because what happens is that often when you do internal work on your own self, those external things change. Like, whatever is toxic in your life, like the work environment, or, a relationship or something, you may view it differently. And maybe the things that were really bothering you won't bother you as much, or you'll just perceive it differently. You'll look at it with a whole different perception or something like that, because you've changed inside, the way you look at things and stuff. So that was kind of an interesting message. That it was funny. I've shared with a few people, like after I watched that video, that it was like I left it for my future self, like a reminder of, don't forget, Jamie. Anyways, here's the canoe that I had bought last year, and I'm gonna leave it. That's the thing. I this My landlord is an unbelievably beautiful man. He is incredible, and I like him. And we have a special relationship. And I said I got nowhere to take it. I can sell it, but I'm like, would you use it? And he's like, yeah, I'll take it out. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, you come back and use it whenever you want. I'm like, sweet. So, and same with the furnishings. Like, wait till I show you. I went, when I got this cabin, and I went out and I got a couch and a kitchen table and a bed and whatever. Now the bed wasn't very good, so I donated the bed. Like, it was kind of pretty rough, right? And I know that because in the past I did some volunteering when I used to live in Ontario, and one of the hottest things and the most needing things is, besides food, is beds. And so I didn't hesitate to find somebody that needed it, and I took it to them. And but as far as the couch and the kitchen table and stuff, someone said to me one day, well, why don't you just ask the landlord? Maybe he'd be happy. Maybe he'd like it left in there, and just, and maybe the next person that rents the cabin will be happy that they have stuff that maybe they didn't have to get already or something. You never know. And so I just thought, well, it doesn't hurt to just ask him, right? And he's like, yeah, it looks lived in. Leave it. Look at these beautiful flowers. Look at them. They just popped up in the last few days. They're gorgeous. I don't know what kind they are. I'm not a flower guy. I mean, I'm not a flower guy as far as I don't know. I don't know what anything's called. But anyways, so here's my little cabin. And yeah, it's been great. I'll take you in and show you. Yeah. Oh, I wish I could show you the mountains here. I'm gonna miss that. Literally, look, here's the porch, right? Little table or whatever, and you could just sit here and stare up at the mountains there. Oh, I wish you could see them. It's gorgeous. Yeah, it's quite the view. So, here we go. And yeah, I had got a TV. Yeah, it was interesting. I went to a lady's house, a young woman from France, and she's already gone back to France. I stayed in touch with her. And I went to her place to get some gloves. I'm like, oh, winter's coming. I didn't have any, right? My last 2 years, I was in Mexico and Asia, right? In the winter. So I didn't have any winter gear. So yeah, he says, yeah, just leave the couch and TV in the chair. Here's a little wood stove. Oh, yeah. And yeah, it's cute, right? Little bathroom, little kitchen over there. Nothing fancy, but it's perfect. It's, you know what? When you live by yourself, or even if it was you and your partner, it's perfect. One bedroom here. I'm going backwards. I'm gonna trip and fall. Yeah, not much to it, but anyways, oh yeah, so I was saying, like, I went for a pair of gloves, and I tried the gloves on, and she was like, I was like, oh, they're way too small or too tight, and she's like, oh well, we tried, right? And I'm like, are you selling anything else? And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, I don't know, like, I need other winter gear. And she's like, well, no, but I have, like, I'm selling, like, all kinds of stuff, like. And I'm like, oh, like, well, what? And she's like, well, come on in, I'll show you. I'm like, okay. I left there. I had purchased the couch. What else? Oh, I had purchased the couch, right? And it's a pull-out, which is cool. And the TV and the stand that it's on. And then all these pictures, like that picture, a bunch of pictures. And even, like, some other, like, knick-knacky things, like these things and stuff. I ended up with, like, a whole carload of stuff, and I went there for gloves. I'm like, this is the best. This is the universe, And it was perfect, because it was, like, all stuff I needed. And she was, like, leaving in a week to go back to France. And she was like, I'm freaking out. I gotta get rid of it. I'm like, don't worry. I'll take it all. Anyways, I kind of lost my train of thought. I think mostly I just wanted to do a video. I mean, I don't think I even have a lot of followers. And I don't even know if anybody's interested in listening to me, really, except for probably the people that I know and stuff like that. But I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say. I remember there's been a few people that have said, hey, when are you going to do another video, right? So I think I just wanted to do one today because, like I said, this is the last day that I'm in this little cabin, and it was a blessing that I was able to stay here, and it gifted me some time to also, take a look at the direction that I want to go in life, right? I still want to get my pilot's license, but I'm pretty sure I have to save up the money, and I don't have it. So it's one of them things that I gotta work. But you know what? It's like, what kind of work do you want to do, right? And so I had applied to the Coast Guard, and I'm past the recruiting stage for that. So it's just a waiting game. But also, you know what's ironic is I've just been saying to a few of my friends recently, the last few days, that, interestingly enough, if they were to call me today, I might actually turn them down and just say, go buy me, or can you keep me on the list and check back the next time that there's an opening. I don't know if they can do that or not, but and some people might think I'm crazy, because that's, working for the Coast Guard, that's a pretty good job, right? But like I said just a few minutes ago, I really want to live my life where, I work for half a year. And, so with the Coast Guard, I think the thing that was appealing to me was that it was like, I heard it used to be like 1 month on, 1 month off, or 3 weeks and 3 weeks off. And, I thought, well, that's great, because then that in that time, that's enough time to jump on an airplane and go somewhere, right? But now I'm hearing it's 2 weeks, 2 weeks, which I shouldn't assume. It might not be the case, but I still was even thinking, like 1 month, even. I mean, yeah, that is pretty sweet, and that's a better gig than most people have in life, and you still get your full year's pay, right? So it's not a bad gig, but I truly just, when I go, like, to be honest, now that I've traveled and I carved out that time, when anyone that's followed me knows that I at one point in my life, a few years ago, sold my house, quit my job, and drove away and traveled for a couple of years, right? So, when you have that amount of time to to um to travel and to spend, even 1 month is not really long enough. It's just not. Like, I'll get somewhere and I'll just be like, I gotta leave already. So I really do desire to have that 4, 5, 6 months, maybe a year, to be able to go somewhere and just enjoy life. Like, I don't think I'll ever feel like I need to have $1 million. I don't think I'll ever feel like I need to be rich. I just want to enjoy my life. And and I don't think it makes any sense, at least not for me, to follow the system that's currently in place, which is, work your tail off until you're 70 or 60 or whatever, 65, and then retire. Because you know what? There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee you're going to be here tomorrow. So I'm not going to live that way. I'm going to live, like I talked about, but making the adjustments of saving money, and that money that I'm going to be saving by living in my camper, um, you know, it'll gift me that travel money and be able to take that time off, right? So I got a bunch of other things. I'm about to start volunteering at the hospital, which is going to happen actually starting in April, which is tomorrow, but not starting tomorrow. I don't know exactly, but it's going to be it's happening very soon. So what I'll be doing is I'll be visiting in the hospital here. They have a section for probably, I would think, seniors that are waiting to get into the lodge or the home, the seniors home. Um, and they just, in the hospital while they're waiting, and sometimes they're waiting there for quite a long time for a place or spot to open up for them at the lodge. They don't have the same programs, they don't have the activities, so it can get lonely, I think. And so I'll just be a compassion person, go and hang out and whatever, watch TV with them, play cards, just whatever, just to visit. And so yeah, I'm kind of excited about that, because right now our government pays for, you can get free, not free, but you can get education paid for to be a healthcare aide or a community support worker. And I thought about getting into that, but I think it's smart to do some volunteering first to see if that I would even enjoy it before committing to, like a whole, education and career. Um, and I don't know if that's the direction I want to go anyways, because I can't imagine. I do enjoy it, you know, like helping people and things like that, but I don't know if I would want to be in that environment all the time. Um, and it's not going to give me that schedule that I want. So, yeah. But anyways, so yeah, that's the latest, I guess, on Nomad Jamie. I'm not as nomadic as I was when I first started my YouTube channel, right? Like I was actually nomadic, you know, like, you know, driving around and going to different places and living here and there, and um I've actually been, you know, grounded. But that's the thing too, is that I think, you know, I can't speak for anyone else, but myself, I did get to the point where it was tiresome to travel. And I also been bouncing around Vancouver Island, and I realized that since I've been here now in one place, this has been the longest I've been in one place in like 3 or 4 years. Like, and what I realize is that because I'm an extrovert, so I'm out all the time. I'm always talking to people, always meeting people. It was challenging at first to get some. You know, I'm on the Facebook hiking groups and things, and I even, like I've done in the past, I'd create, you know, post and say, let's hike today, you know, group hike. And you know what, it's I don't know about other countries, but it's a challenging one here. I don't know. It's interesting. And I don't want this to come across as some sort of a sexist thing, or it's not. It's just that I am aware, though, that what I had, because it's a pattern. I would see women post about a group hike, and there'd be like 20 people would say, okay, yeah, sure, or whatever. And then I post, and it's, you know, I'd get like one or two people, and, you know, or nobody that would be interested. And I thought, is it, you know, I honestly, and then I noticed other guys would post and they wouldn't hardly get anything too. And like I said, women do. So I think that, you know, it is just that, you know, it's a cautious thing. I think that, you know, it's different for women. They have to be cautious, I think. And but coming from a man that's just like, I have no intentions of anything other than meeting new people and going for a hike in nature and sharing that. And you know, because I did a lot of hiking by myself, and it's great. But you know, at some point, you wanna have some connection, right? And while you're out and doing that, right? So, but I also know that we live at a time where there's a lot of men out there that have, you know, ulterior motives, or they have, you know, ill intentions and things like that. And so yeah, so basically what I was getting to was, it's been a challenge. I have finally met some really amazing people, and I've got a couple of different groups that I hike with, and they're truly awesome. I've got some new friends in that sense. So, but it took a while. It took a while, and even one of them said to me one time, she was just like, you know, we saw your post, but we didn't know you. And I'm like, I know, I get it. But how do you get in, right? Like, how do you, you know, as a just a good human being, how do you break in? It's a tough one. Yeah, but I am excited to get down to Campbell River, because unfortunately, where I am here in Sayward, the community center is falling on hard times. They're having all kinds of issues, and it's not up and running. And they had pickleball, and I loved going to that and things. So I'm excited to get down to Campbell River. They've got a lot of activities at the community center, and the pool, and the pickleball, and the, you know, there's always games and yoga and cards and things, and just yeah, I can be more engaged, you know. And yeah, it's a balance, you know. But the nice thing about Campbell River is, you know, it's a small city, but at the same time, you can drive 5 minutes in any direction, and you're out in the middle of nowhere in nature, and you can hike, and there's mountains everywhere. And so it's, I think it'll be best of both worlds. um, Anyways, that's where Nomad Jamie's at right now. I'm not super nomadic, mind you. I'm going back and I'm living in my camper. And that's another funny thing I didn't really show you is, but oh my goodness, like, it's funny, right? I come in with just camper stuff, but I left with like I got twice as much shit. And I don't know what happened, Like I guess just because is it because you have space? When you have space, you just get stuff or what? Like I don't know. I don't know, but like I'm like putting stuff, and it's a good thing I got my little car. My little car's packed, and my pickup truck's completely packed and full, and the camper's completely packed and full. And I'm just like, I didn't come in with all that. I came in with just the truck and the camper, and it wasn't even jam packed. Like, so I was laughing as I was putting stuff in it, and I'm like, what happened? I always tell people I'm simple, I'm non-materialistic, and I don't have much things, and I don't, and apparently I do. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Anyways, I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about. I just wanted to show you the cabin where I'd been staying because I won't be back here. I mean, I'll come back. I got some friends here in the community, and that I want to come back and visit. There's some lovely people here, but I won't be coming back to this cute little cabin. So, yeah. And I think I just felt like it was time to make a video. Like I said, I don't know if anybody even, I don't really care if, I shouldn't say I don't care. And of course, I thought about it the other day too. I was like, you know what? If anybody even, like, the video I was telling you is about that I re-listened to from a couple years ago, and I was like, oh, that's some good advice, Jamie, and whatever for my future self or whatever. And in the video, I remember saying, I want to create, this could be like a lifelong discussion. So let's all talk about this. Like, what are you guys doing? What am I doing? Like, let's all talk and share ideas, and so that we can enhance our lives and live better, and, just share, right? Like I realized that when we talk with each other, and the amazing ideas, like I'm not going to think of all the things that can enhance our lives and make it better, but you might have some ideas, and then I have ideas that you didn't think about, right? So I think when I know Canada and the US have gotten so far away from communicating with each other. We live in a me society, and it's weird. When guys, if you have not left Canada or USA, try your hardest. At some point, get down to Mexico, get out to, I mean, there's so many countries I don't even know about, but some of them in Asia, some of those countries I went, like those people are communicating with each other. They love each other. They're helping one another. They help their neighbor. They help their family and their friends. Everybody's helping one another. They're all sharing. It's a different world. It's how it should be. And I don't know what the heck has gone wrong here, but man, people are just very individual. It's weird. I was saying this to someone one day, and they were like, yeah, we've lived in the same place for 40 years or 30 years, and we don't even know our neighbor. They've been there just as long. They've never talked to us. I'm just like, what? What is going on? Oh my goodness. Anyways, that's just my little rant. But yeah, I'm excited to get more involved. There's the community in Campbell River is much more engaging. The thing with small communities, and it's like this everywhere in so many small communities all across Canada, US, wherever, like I found that there was quite a few people here where I was that were welcoming. Actually, I remember the very first woman that I met when I came for house pet sitting. It was so cool. The lady I came house pet sitting for said to me, "Stop before you come into the town. It's 10 kilometers out, but at the junction," she said, "stop at the store, right? And just so you can see what you can get there." Because there's not a lot of options here, right? It's just one little grocery store, like, and you need to see what you can get, right? Just check it out. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I walked in, and the first person I saw says, "Oh, hey, welcome." I'm like, "Oh, I'm just new here," or whatever. And she was like, "Welcome to Sayward," with a big smile. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's going to be great. But not everybody's like that. There is a huge percentage of people, just like in any small community, that are like, you haven't lived here for 40 years. You didn't grow up here. I'm not speaking to you. You know, like it's weird. I don't get that and understand that mentality, but I mean, I've witnessed it. It's crazy. You know, you can have I'm standing at the store and you got miserable Bob. You know, Bob, I'm just throwing a name out there. I don't know his name, but you know, some miserable guy in front of you, and the clerk on the at the counter is like, "Hey, Bob, how you doing? Do you know?" And then I get up there and I've been going in there like every other day for the last like 6 months. And, hey, what do you want? You know, what do you need? Or like says nothing, and I'm like, you were just happy and chipper with miserable Bob that's been here his whole life. So because like I'm just like it's pretty obvious, but because I'm happy and I'm chipper. So like I don't even get it. Like I just don't get it. I don't understand that I feel like I'm just ranting and maybe I just needed to. I just don't get it because there's amazing people in this world. Guys, if you're listening to this, just open your hearts and say hello to somebody standing in line at the grocery store. I talk to people all the time. I talk to strangers all the time. Some don't want to engage and you'll know right away. Like they just won't say hello back or they won't even look at you and that's fine. You just have to be okay with it. That's what I realize. I've heard from other people, they say, well, it's the fear of the unknown. Like no one engages and says anything because they're afraid of how someone else is going to respond. But you don't realize that you don't realize, but if you could just become okay with the ones that don't want to engage or are just grumpy or miserable in life, well, you know what? You don't know what's going on in their life, right? They're grumpy and they're miserable because maybe they're just having a bad day, maybe they're having a bad life, maybe they're having a bad everything, who knows what, and they don't know how to be happy or whatever. But you know what? If you can look past that and continue onto your hello or smiling at someone, you know what? You may end up having the greatest conversations in certain days. Like I can't tell you how many time, guys, that I've just been like, I've spent hours sometimes just talking to a stranger in the middle of nowhere or wherever at the grocery store. Like, I got a friend that's from Portugal that I met while I was house pet sitting, and she was here in this small community, and she was house pet sitting, and we became friends, and she started to kind of go around with me a little bit, and she's just like not the same as me, right? And I would just be like, hey, you know, or we'd go to the market and it would take me an hour to just go up one aisle because I'd be talking to everybody. And she was just like, that's amazing. Like, and I'm just like, well, you can do it too. You know, I mean, we all have different comfort zones and comfort levels, but I just look at it as I can't imagine missing the amazing conversations that I could have with people if I don't look past that fear, right? It's huge, guys. We need to start talking to each other. It's the way of the future. It's the way of connecting and sharing our we've got the internet and we can connect with people all over the world, but it's not the same. We've got to get talking to each other in the streets. Like, I even walk through, every community has their homeless issues. I've walked through Campbell River and talked to homeless people. I've had some amazing conversations. They actually have the time. They have the time, Anyways, it's, I guess I don't know if that's where I'm done. Am I done? I think so. I have no idea when I'll make another video. I don't feel super drawn to it. I don't know. Maybe it's not I'm not moving around as much. Maybe I find like I don't have as much to say or to talk about or to show you or to... I guess my message is to I just wanted to catch us up on Nomad Jamie, I guess, and felt like it was time to do a video, and I'm moving on to a new chapter in the next... I am pretty excited. I hope you guys hold me to it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get my pilot's license one day, and it might be a couple of years before I can really, buckle down and get the funds together and things like that. But I really do feel like that's in my future. So I hope that one day I make a video and you are like, "Oh, you finally did it! Look at you! I'll make the video from up in the sky." Okay, that's it. Thanks for being here with me. Thanks for listening to me. Hopefully, you enjoyed something out of this. And if not, well, hopefully you don't feel like you wasted your time listening to me. Okay, guys. Peace out. That's my heart, right? The heart. Yeah. Oh, I'll show you this. I'll end with this. Look at this beautiful. I don't even remember where I got it, but look at that. Can you see it? Breathe. Yeah. Okay. Just breathe. Breathe. Balanced life, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Don't work too hard. Take some time for yourselves. I had a friend that I was talking to the other day, and they said, I finally realized to put myself first. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I literally, I almost wept. I was just like, oh my gosh, I had goosebumps. My heart just was like, it's amazing. It's not a selfish thing, guys, to put yourself first. It's just not. Take care of yourselves. Love yourselves. Adios.